Magic World Championships 31 from Jennifer-Rose Holloway. It is considered quote-unquote Jeskai control, but it really quite isn't, because as we saw on live coverage, this deck turns around and becomes a burn and very aggressive deck out of nowhere. So how do they do that? We have Get Lost, one of the best white removals in this format, destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. A one of main board Essence Scatter. I think this is more expecting the Badger Mole matchup rather than the Izzet matchups. There's 3 of Nia's in here. When it enters, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card as long as you control this creature. And then the reverse side is Flying Vigilance Haste. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, put a 1/1 counter on Nia. Remove 2 counters, exile the top card of your library, and play that card this turn, which just seems really nice in a Jeskai deck that you want to have like some sort of card advantage. We got Pyroclasm, probably expecting the Badger matchups. We have our interaction in the main board, No More Lies, counter target spell unless its controller plays 3. And then it exiles, which is pretty relevant. Lightning Helix 4 of does 3 damage to any target and we gain 3 life. A 1 of Aang's Iceberg. It is Flash O-Ring in the format, or we can Waterbend 3, sacrifice this, and scry twice. Stock Up is one of my favorite blue draw spells in a long time. You look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them in your hand and the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. We're playing 2 of Aang. We can airbend up to 1 target creature or spell, and then transform Aang for 8. And whenever the transform side attack, put a 1 counter each tap creature you control. We're having 2 of Day of Judgment main board, and then 4 of Legend, which is really spicy. When Legend of Karak comes in, scry 2, then draw a card. And then on the flip side, whenever you cast a spell, make a 1/1 spirit creature, and then Waterbend for 20, take an extra turn after this one. And then on our top end, Ultima. This card is great if you're playing in a format that has a bunch of earthbended lands. Those earthbended lands do not come back from the graveyard. Additionally, on Magic Arena, the format has a lot of Jeskai artifact. And then Shiko. Shiko enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, copy it. You may cast a copy out paying its mana cost, which is really great interactions because we can get Aang's Iceberg if we want to. We can stock up to look at more cards for free. We can bring back Aang to bounce something. We can make a copy of Aang to bounce Shiko and get some value there. I don't know why you do that, but you can. This is why Nia is in here, because we can get Nia back from the graveyard as a copy of her flip side, because it's only looking at the front side, so she's technically 3, and you can play either version of this. This is an interaction we've known for a while, and I'm actually looking forward to getting some jank out of that card today. On the sideboard, we have 1 of Unable to Scream. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a toy artifact creature with base power and toughness 0/2 in addition to other type. Voice of Victory. Opponent can't cast spells during your turn. There's a full 4 of Aang's Iceberg, another Flash O-Ring in the sideboard. There's another version of Essence Scatter for the creature heavy matchup like Badger. Negate, probably coming in against the spell heavy decks like the Izzet deck or another control deck. Pyroclasm, man, this deck was really prepared for a Badger meta. Tidebinder, when this enters, counter up to 1 activated or triggered ability. If ability of artifact, creature, or planeswalker is countered this way, that permanent loses all abilities for as long as this creature remains on the battlefield. And then 1 of Enduring Curiosity for card advantage if we want to go super aggressive. Might be fun to bring in against the control decks, but we'll see. But that is the deck today. We're going to get some best of 3s to see Jennifer-Rose Holloway is a genius in her own right, or did she just get really lucky that day to have a good schedule, a good rec? We'll find out. One goes first. We have early interaction. We have Surveil lands. We have a Wrath. I think this is good enough to keep. We can try it and see what our opponent is on. They're really slow. We can Surveil turn 1 and turn 2, but it makes it awkward with Spiral Buff now. I have a very white heavy hand, so I think I want to play this Surveil land first. They played a Mountain, so it's probably mono red. And having another Aang does not hurt. You can tempo them out of the game that way. Our land base is going to be kind of painful here. We're coming in to tap lands too often. I'm going to place a Raceway, and it is mono red. Okay. So we made the right decision with keeping another Aang on top. So I'm going to just play Spire Buff Canal and keep up removal for the Emperor Heart Challenger. Like if they pump anything into it, we can just kill it in response. And it's just going to play a land and attack. Yeah. Free value. No blocks, no attacks, no effects. They got a Hired Claw, okay. And they can just level up Hired Claw. Yeah. I think because of this, we need to get rid of Hired Claw. They're all tapped out now because they activated Hired Claw. Unfortunately, maps work well with Challenger. That was a good draw, because now that Blood Farm Verge is untapped mana that we don't have to ping ourselves for. And we can Aang's Iceberg, the Challenger, or bounce it with Swift Spear. Or a Swift Savior. To pass my turn. One's gonna map. It could be a reason why we didn't... we killed the Challenger with these map triggers. They get an IRA demonstration. That's pretty bad for them, but... I think we can take 3 here for information. They play a Sanctuary and a Needlehead, okay? So they're tapped out of red. I think this is a good time to bring in for our first Aang. Or we could have untapped and take 2 in Wrath, but I don't think that's the answer we want right now. So I'm just going to play my Surveil land. Don't need another land. And we can pass the turn just holding Aang on defense. We can hold up another Aang, or we can Iceberg something. They're just cracking the map first on their turn. Makes sense. Getting more information, finding a land. Revealing a Nova Hellkite. Keeping on top is probably their best card in this matchup. Just play the Needlehead, yet. I think I'm just going to block here to protect my life total. We are at 13. And if they play anything else, I think it's a good reason for us to Wrath right away. And we can take 1 doing this. Yeah. Our turn, our Needlehead's going to ping us for 1. We can play our tap Sacred Foundry and Wrath the board. They're holding priority, so they probably have a burn spell in their last card, or they can just animate their land. We can, if they animate their land, we can Aang that land. No, they're just gonna warp a Hellkite. That's fine. Probably still have a burn spell in hand. Should probably play our Verge first to have 3 mana. We have 6 mana up now. We can Aang's Iceberg the Nova Hellkite. And we can Aang Swift Savior the Sanctuary that they just animated into turn. Nova Hellkite. I want them to go to combat first before we do any of this. So they're in combat. Aang's Iceberg can get rid of Hellkite. And Aang can get rid of this land. This airbending a land, they can't... As I understand, they can't cast a spell that's... You have to cast a spell that's airbended. And because you can't cast a land, it just gets exiled forever. So they just play Ira's Demonstration to kill our Aang, and we draw a Shiko, which is amazing here. Right? What do we even get back? We just get back an Aang. Commit 0, player tap, land, and pass. Just to have more blockers. They have Soulstone Sanctuary, but we can just stop it with Shiko. We just get a Needlehead, okay? That means we take 1 on our upkeep from the Needlehead. Drawing another land is not the best. If we animate Aang and attack, that puts them on a 2-turn clock. If they untapped Untap, draw another Nova Hellkite, we might be dead. So I think I'm just going to attack with Shiko for now. And we have nothing to do with our extra mana, so we can just flip. Can we transform a copy spell? Does anyone know? Should we do it for science and see what happens? Oh, they probably have a pump spell. I'm gonna block like this. What do you got, opponent? You attacked with both. Probably way to remove Shiko. Burst lightning on Aang. So can I flip him? What happens? For science. It's a copy though. Oh, and he still lives. I learned something today. And so did my opponent. On to game 2. So they are mono red, good stuff. Essence should come in. Pyroclasm should come in. Do we bring in Tidebinder? We don't bring Tidebinder in against mono red. Unable to scream might be fun to slow them down a little bit. What do we take out then? Maybe a Legend of Kuruk. I want to keep one Ultima in just to have more Wrath. Well, it's a token though, because you're making a copy of the token. So a token can flip, but a clone cannot? Interesting. Anyways, we need to cut 2 more cards. What do we cut? I still like Legend in here, though. Maybe cut down to Nia, because it's gimmicky. And another Legend, maybe? Or another Nia. Maybe another Nia. And run it something like this. Try that. Opponent goes first. We have early interaction. We can No More Lies on turn 2. Maybe J Judgment. This hand is kind of rough. I guess we can try it. Keep it. Really dependent how fast my opponent is. And we'll play our tap land first after opponent plays their Higher Claw for turn 1. Playing a Sanctuary into Magebane Lizard. That card's sweet. And just hits us for 2, that's fine. We play probably our Canal because it's untapped. We can give up No More Lies this way. They play a Mountain and a Nova Hellkite. That's a perfect spell to No More Lies. I'll happily take one here. It just hits us for 2. I think we need to stock up. So I'm going to play my Verge and stock up. Needing to find an untapped land. There's an untapped land that's white. And doesn't ping us for damage. Ugh. Essence Scatter is good. Let's see. Next turn I'm going to Wrath. After that I need... what? Chico? I was really hoping for a Lightning Helix somewhere. But we'll just take our Scatter and Verge and pass. They play another Hired Claw, and that's painful. And just swinging out from there, probably pumping up their Hired Claw. And takes us down to 8. Brutal. Another Essence Scatter, uh-oh. So we were just going to untap and Day of Judgment. Take 1 off the Lizard. This one of Quarry Mountain comes in play tap because we don't have a Plains or an island in the field yet. Double Emperor Heart. So we just dead? Straight up? If they play any spell, we're just dead? Gonna pass? They have one card left. They can just animate their land to kill us on spot. On to game 3. And just really slow there. Might be a reason to always look for Lightning Helix, because we haven't found Lightning Helix once in this matchup. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand looks a lot better with early interaction. I'm gonna throw away the Ultima. Play our Sacred Boundary tap. And we actually have a Lightning Helix this game, which will help. And they play a Mountain and pass on turn 1. That's perfect for us. So we get to keep up No More Lies and Lightning Helix. And they're just going to burn us with Lightning Helix end of their turn? Sure. 18. Play another Mountain into a Lizard. I can't Lightning Helix that, so I'm going to counter that. And take our turn. Play our tap land, keep up Lightning Helix. Seems okay. And play that Raceway again. Midrange Lizard can't die to Lightning Helix. We'll just untap and play Legend. Taking 1 from the Lizard. Yep. Another Shiko. I don't think this is what we need. We need to find mana to get to Shiko. I should have specified untap mana. Right, I guess a better land. Play a Sanctuary. Into drumroll. A Needlehead, okay. So they just attack with the Lizard. At our upkeep, I think I want to kill this Needlehead. Or we take extra damage from that and go back to 18. Our Legend Kurok. Oh my goodness. We don't need another land, but we need another Lightning Helix. I think it is worth it to shock this in to keep up Lightning Helix. This could be bad if they play a dragon on their turn. Because I need to find a Wrath or Bust if they have a dragon. There's a dragon. Yep. They put a counter on Rock Face. And we take 6. Question is, do I Lightning Helix at end of their turn to gain 2 life? We know that Nova Hellkite's coming down. I think I'm going to save it. 2 Lightning Helixes is not bad there. Gonna play our Surveil land and figure it out. Don't need another Surveil land. With double Lightning Helix, we can do that on Hellkite. We're going to take 3 damage from Lizard, though, but it deals with their Hellkite. Our Avatar can make 2 tokens in response. Yep, they just play their Hellkite like we thought. I'm going to wait till they go to combat. And we'll do what we talked about, is we will burn the Hellkite out. Take 1. We took 3 from the Lizard, but we gained back a bunch of life from that. Twist Savior is pretty good here. 3, 4. Question is, do we Shiko and go face or not? I think we do. I think we need to turn the corner now, and that's the answer. So I'm going to Shiko, get my Lightning Helix, and go face. Attack with my team of 2 tokens and Avatar. And try to present lethal next turn. We have exactly lethal on board. Lynx. Oh my goodness. We take 6 for that Lynx. That was hot. We have enough mana for this? It's 20, right? So as long as we bounce one thing, they're dead on board, right? I'm going to play Aang. They can't animate their land. They need to do 3 damage to Avatar. Okay. I'm going to bounce the Lizard. And attack with Shiko. And we can flip over Aang because we have enough of these spirit tokens. I think we're sitting pretty good. We have 2 blockers. They have 1 unknown. Fortunately, these can only block spirit creatures. Yeah, Lynx is not a spirit. They can animate their land, but we can block it. Yeah, tokens can't be blocked, nor can they do any blocking. So they're lethal in their own right. I bet they're wishing for a Goblin Chain Whirler in this format. Please, Wizards, don't reprint that card. Not now. For 4 mana, you can animate your land. I was thinking of flipping Aang to have a blocker, but I probably should have attacked with them because they were just dead. I'm dumb. I literally was talking about the turn to bounce them. They're dead. I just ignored the line that I called out myself. I'm just going to spend all their mana to give their Lizard haste. They are tapped out, right? We just prevent as much damage as possible. For some reason, I was too thinking about this play to kill their Lynx for no reason, because they're just dead on board, and I could have thrown away that game there, but we found a way. I'll take it. On to the next one. Try it again. We'll go first. We have early interaction and day judgment. Sure, we can keep this. Play our Surveil Lantern 1. Lightning Helix on top? Yeah. We're playing Island. That's scary. Into a Grand. Well, we just pass. We can Lightning Helix, or we can save up No More Lies. I think Grand getting an attack here is worth it for us. They're full on looting, so... The downside to this is they can just pass keeping up Quencha, and we can't kill Grand now. This might be a mistake. They just let it go, okay. We can play Canal on our turn and pass. We can No More Lies. Any of their big spells, if they play Grand, I guess we Essence Scatter, but they just pass. I think we have to play Thundering Falls tapped. Or we could play Passage on white to keep up Scatter and Normalize. That might be the better play. Talent. We're going to get rid of that. And they only have 1 blue, so they just pass immediately? Okay, so we took 2 damage for nothing. Ultima's good here when they play Endurance. It doesn't answer the board right now. We can keep it on top just in case. But we need to find some looting. Yep, there is a talent. White Lotus hideout. Okay. So they just pass. We can play our land and pass. Hopefully this otter doesn't kill us. We'll find out. We found another island. There's a Grand Grand. We can get rid of Grand Grand. They asked for Quench. I can pay for that. You have another Quench? No, if they're fighting over Grandma, their hand is pretty weak. I'm just going to pay for it. Firebending lesson, your own otter for damage. Sure. We drew a legend. We can keep up no more lives this way. Get loss is really good as well, because we can kill the talent if they want to boomerang basics their talent. I'm feeling okay here. Just play a tap land, swing for one with their otter. That's pretty good for us. Pass. Okay. I think I want to draw the land right now. And we can draw the surveil land, keep the surveil land, keep lightning helix. And I think we can just pass. Right? Or we can wipe here for an otter and keep up no more lives. No, that's not worth it. It's in the Discord? Alright, I'll check it out. So they leveled up talent, so I think now is the time we destroy talent. They just swing for one without mapping. Okay, so they pass. Our legend corrects flips. We can now lightning helix the otter. Get a token. They combustion techniques, and we can save our avatar from combustion techniques, exiling it, so one less lesson. And we can pass with avatar on the board. That seems pretty good for us. We can get back. Oh, they drew another combustion techniques. Oh well, damage is done. Abandon attachment, pitching boomerang. To find a wisdom, yeah. Game is not over yet. I think we can just play Shiko. Lightning Helix their face. And get a clock going. The longer this game goes on, the endurance deck will just kill us. Granted, this is bad because now if they play it and we play Ultima, then our Shiko's kind of worthless. But they just play Grand Grand into Artisan Talent, yep. Yeah, Artisan Talent loot. And we got to kill our talent now. They're going to get accumulated wisdom to go off for 3. And there's their endurance. There's a boomerang basics. They throw away. They're down to 32 cards. Find an island on the second map. An island off the third map. We can just swing in. And unfortunately, I think we need Ultima. This might lose the play, but I want to get rid of their endurance. Now we lose our clock, which is the downside. And now we have nothing on board. When they were under a clock. And now we're just playing the passing game. Play a land and pass. Ugh. There's another Grand Grand. Hi, Grand Grand. Hi, Grand Grand. Meet my Pyroclasm. And then let's pass. We need to draw Stock Up or Legend. That's our best draw. Ooh, Aang. Okay. One just plays a Surveil land. They probably have a lot of like creature removal in their hand. So I'm just gonna throw out Aang. Is it worth it to pump up since they automatically passed? I think so. Let's put them on a clock. And then now this way we can Shiko for Lightning Helix now. If they can get rid of our flipped Aang. Artisan Talent, that's scary. Okay, there's a demonstration for 4. And Pyroclasm for 2, yep. What's your last card? Level up Artisan Talent, sure. Pull it all the way, sure. We're gonna do the Shiko plan. Shiko, get back Lightning Helix to the face. Take that, Izzet. World-winning deck, sorry. We're gonna bring in Negates for sure. Pyroclasm for sure. Maybe bring in Aang's Iceberg. Take out Essence Scatter for sure. Take out Day of Judgments. Is this a Tidebinder matchup? It shuts down their win con, so maybe. So we can take out Nia here. Do we keep Aang in? I think so. So we can go down Legends. And maybe Lightning Helix. Do something like this. I like it. We can't keep this with no lands. We can keep this with lands. We can throw away Quarry Mountain and play our Surveil on turn 1. There's their Grand. Drawing an Ultima. Oh, there's another land we can keep it on top. That's fine. Grand beats. Pitching a Boomerang basic's fine. Just passing, not sus, so we can just play our land and pass. Fortunately, we can't kill this Grand with this hand. So they're going to put more lessons in the graveyard. That's scary for us. And they just pass, sure. We'll play our lands and pass as well. They play their land, sure. Grand getting in for value. Now they have 3 lessons in their graveyard. They play Endurance for 2. Let's try to counter that. They probably have a response. They're keeping up 2 mana. Spell Purse, yep. So I'm just going to play a land and slam our Legend. If we can find a land, we can untap and play Ultima. Gate is... I think we need to find a land. I got to bottom both of those. We found a land. I would like to have Negate right now, because we're probably going to play a counter war here in a minute. They just Wisdom right away. Gross. A Wisdom again. Casual draw 6 for 2 mana. And here's where Endurance gets out of control. Both of these cards seem good right now. Doing it like this, we can now play our land and play Pyroclasm to get rid of Grand. Gate. Okay, let's get lost Grand. We will fight over this. I want them to waste their negates now. Yep. Because playing Ultima, we would have just lost on the spot. So this way, we're forcing them to do something. But now they're going to get their abandoned attachment value, which is going to be the problem. Morale.
Doesn't take a gene. Think big.
Yeah. That's why this deck won Worlds pretty easily. They are now 14 cards deeper than us. That's their third wisdom.
Gotta work with what's
In the
available.
top 30 cards. Yep. Seems pretty sweet. Momentum, make a treasure. How do we even win from here? Do we even win? Pass? We can't really Ultima here, can we? Yeah, so they just play land. Have a way to kill her avatar. Yeah.
I've calculated exactly what I need.
Granny swinging in. So now we're going to try to Tidebinder this. Tidebinder might be really bad because they have so much bot removal in this deck. This resolves. I'm going to go to block. That happens? What?
A new world.
Sure, you can demonstration.
There's evidence here somewhere.
And then I think we just lose from this spot. Because they can just burn us and burn us. Yeah, cool. On to game 3. Is it worth it to bring in Voice of Victories now? Just to only shut them down on my turn? It is a counter matchup, so maybe that's the answer. A set of Angs and Tidebinders. And have something like this. Yeah, they have a bunch of removal, but now they can't do anything on our turn. I like it like this. Let's try. Does this hand win? Not really. I don't think we can keep that hand. Keep this, though. Throwing away a Shiko. Hopefully our Surveil land finds us more lands. Yep. Keep it on top. One plays Canal and a talent. So this is the best time for our Voice of Victory. Artisan talent, yep. Say this for 2 life and pass. Keeping up Negate or Aang's Iceberg. Yeah, there's a Gran. Gonna flash this in. They can't cast anything on our turn, so I guess they're okay with this. And this is a mistake on our part. Should have just done this on our turn. But we draw a legend. Both of these are fine. No attacks and pass. Next turn we can Shiko get back Voice if we have to. This way we can also get lost and hold up Negate. Not gonna block this. No lessons in the graveyard. They have a 2 damage lesson. Accumulate Wisdom for Anticipate seems really good for us. Cannon detachments. Okay. That was a quick way to get 4 lessons in one turn, yeah. Okay, cool. So doing it this way, we can get lost their talents and hold up negate, I think is how we play this turn. Fortunately, Grand's gonna get a lot bigger now. So I'm gonna play negate. They're gonna wisdom in response, yeah. You find your own negate. Yep. Another wisdom. So that's their 3rd wisdom in 20 cards. Brother. How do you keep up with this? How do you keep up with this? We get our legends. We get our Shiko. Get back Iceberg. Take out talent. Go beatdowns, because we're not blocking anymore with that. Boomerang basic, yeah. Here's a downside for iceberging that instead of getting lost. So they just get their talent back for free. Should have thought about that turn more. So Aang's Iceberg is just probably bad in this matchup because they play Boomerang Basics. And that's just a free card we shouldn't play with. A mass amount of card advantage that they have. I'm gonna take 4. What we really need is Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. Like, Rest in Peace would be perfect. And we're not playing any. Maybe we should just play main board Rest in... I don't know. It's a problem with Shiko, though. We need to find some way to interrupt my opponent's graveyard. So we get a Scry. Both of these are fine. I think we still need to take them off. Let's swing out like this. And next turn... 10, 11, 12. We can't take an extra turn yet. Yep. Are we dead here is the question. They crack a bunch of maps. Okay. Firebending lesson kicked. Boomerang basic art token that can't block. Yeah. So now we need to find an Ultima. Pretty much. Ultima or bust. Stock up is not enough mana to do it. I think we just need to wipe up this board before we die. I was thinking of taking negate, but then we couldn't take more interactions, so we just wipe this board and pass. There's their monument. Yep. Okay. Stock up was a really good draw here. So with our stock up, what do we find? Probably negate. Eco's pretty good. Another lightning helix is good, just to pad her life a little bit. We also need another land. No, we can play both of our spells, so maybe another lightning helix. We could die from here. They have an endurance out, we're at 4 life. Yeah, Agnakel, draw and discard, triggering endurance. Want to lose 3 life? Sure. So on their turn, I'm just gonna start burning and present lethal. You have negate, okay. I will present lethal. I hope. Nope. 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how we got there, but wow, that deck is so broken. Oh my goodness. Opponent goes first, but we can't keep this hand. I can keep this hand though. Probably pitching a stock up to keep our. We want to keep our lands, interactions. Yeah, throw stock up away. One plays a starting town. Is it a Badger deck finally? No, it's not. It's just a Cecil deck. So, one players surveil land. I think I want to keep Legend on top. One plays a Reap. Oh, so it's Dimir. Nice. You just play our Canal and pass. It's Dimir Kaido, right? I haven't seen this deck in a while. They're cracking their map on Cecil, so I'm just gonna kill Cecil in response. They do play Spell Pierce in the main board. Did not get punished. Oh, they just have another Cecil. They don't care. Cool. I think we just want to stock up, right? Pyroclasm doesn't do much to this board. We can get another Lightning Helix. We get another stock up, but we have Legend of Kurok, though. Our next turn, we're going to Wrath. So after that, we can Helix. We can Legend and Gitlaw. Or we can stock up Lightning Helix. I think getting a land's our best bet. And getting our card advantage. Another Siren, yeah. Them cracking a map means they're probably missing lands. Nope, they got one anyways. So the question is, I should Wrath because I drew a second one, right? I don't want them to play Kaido yet, and that's the easiest way for them to play Kaido. They shock in Azure Beastbinder? Why? This to target artifact, creature, or planeswalker, so it doesn't hit sagas. I'm gonna bottom a saga and a land. Get another land anyways. Okay. Play this on white. Our passage on white and pass. Oh, it's a drowner. Okay. Sure. If they have a Kaido here, they don't. Okay. So we're just going to not draw those 2 lands with a legend trigger. Is Dea Judgment keeping up Get Lost? They have no plays and pass with 4 mana. My guess is they just have spot removal, which is going to kill our legend. How does... Okay, so Tidebinder comes in. The trigger has to happen, right? And that just dies? Because if we kill it, you still counter the trigger. Right? There's nothing I can do about that. Which is awkward, so we'll just play another legend. Spell Pierce. Which we can pay for. Fine with that. Shiko on top. I'm gonna keep Shiko. You can play this on red because we only have one red source. We'll pass. Okay. I'm playing a land and getting down to business. Helps our Shiko out, I guess. Our Aang can get rid of the land? Sure. So we'll just kill this Tidebinder now. If they animate our land, we can Aang it away forever. I really like this interaction. Nothing. Okay. That's frustrating. That's... Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. You got it. We play our Shiko. Kill their Tidebinder. We have another stock up in hand, so I'm not worried about getting another stock up. I'm just cleaning the board clear. We can shock this in and keep up Aang. Nowhere to run. Sure. That resolves. And you have a spot removal, so now we can flash in Aang. Pick up our Shiko. Give a third spot removal? Nope. Punch in with Aang. Play a stock up. Find another Shiko. Sure. Play our Shiko from Airbend. Get another stock up. Play a stock up for free. Essence Scatter, no more life. Sure. Play our Surveil land now after all the shenanigans. Don't need another land and pass. We have technically lethal on board. Drowner. Can stop the Drowner. Doing this keeps lethal on board. Yeah, you can animate your land and attack us. That doesn't matter. They get a little more information this way, though. So we'll just flip Aang. And go to game 2. Pyroclasms are terrible here. Voice might be good here. Negates might be good. Tidebinders might be good. They're not playing any bounce in Kaido, correct? So Iceberg might be fine. Bringing in so much for this matchup, though. Goodbye, Nia. Go down one Ultima, go down one Legend. Maybe this is not an Iceberg. Figure out how we... The problem is Kaido, right? Aang's Iceberg can get Kaido. Can get their man lands. Get any of their creatures. They're going into a heavy counter matchup, right? They can't deal with enchantments, though. They're not playing Boomerang. Even one Essence Scatter, I guess. You can just take out the icebergs and try it like this. A value across the board. And is terrible. And so still terrible, but hopefully we can draw lands out of this. Both these hands are god awful, but Voice of Victory should be helpful. I expect them to take a lot of the removal out. So Voice of Victory, Blood Pitch Drowner on nothing. You got it. Mission accomplished. And they betrayal our voice. Hoping to draw a land, we don't, so we just play another voice. Grounder to tap it down. So it's not dying, that's okay for us. Like to draw a land, please. Untapped land is great. Turns on all of our lands, and now we can stock up. Guarantee our land drops. None of these come and play untapped. That's really bad. We take a land, we take a Shiko. And pass. Rest. What do you want to take, opponent? There's a lot of goodies in here. I'm playing Siren mapping to show Cecil. Okay, they are empty-handed now. So we can play Archive, showing another land. I think we just play Voice here. We can do anything we want. They're in top deck mode, right? They're cracking a map on Siren, which is really good for us to show a negate, which is going to be a turn late, so they bin it. No blocks. I'll happily take 6 here. So we get full freedom of our turn. And I think I can just take down the Drowner. And so Voice isn't blocking anymore, so we just turn the corner and pass. They play a land so they can animate. A bit of Triumph, yeah. Pretty good draw. So let's stock up and find some answers. And Aang is really good. Another red source is really good. I will take it. So we just go beatdowns. And what I'm hoping to do is get rid of their land when they animate it with Aang. Which is what they're going to do. And we're going to wait till they go to combat. With Aang, we can bounce their land and it's gone forever. Bye, friendo. They show another land, okay? So we can stock up again. A Tidebinder with a Shiko seems pretty strong. And we can play our tap land here. And pass. We're just going to animate their land, sure. So before blocks, I'm just going to get the Tidebinder in. And it's a Viper. Now we can Shiko Get back, stock up. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, no wonder Dimir's disappeared. That felt easy and clean. So is this deck spicy? Absolutely. I really like Shiko right now in this current format. Unfortunately, Shiko gets hit by the secondary market of graveyard hate that is trying to attack Izzet lessons, but I thought playing this deck felt really smooth. The only changes I'd probably make is Nia is kind of gimmicky, and I feel like I would want to play more counter magic rather than playing Nia. Yeah, Nia's great when you flip it over with Shiko, but often in my game I felt like I wanted to board her out every time, and I don't know if that's correct or not. You can tell me in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.